This is the tutorial for Chapter 3, Section 2, titled Angles of Triangles. And here we are going to find the measure of interior angles. And so since it says angles, that means we've got more than one. And over here, we're trying to find out what x is. So we know what this angle is. This is 90 degrees. And I know what this one is. It's 30 degrees, so I just need to find x. Well, what I could end up doing is I could start by what is the theorem here. And so what my theorem is this concept here. If I take these angles, this x angle here, and I take this 30 degree angle, and I cut them, and I line them up alongside this 90 degree angle. So let's say I put the 30 degree angle right here. And so that's where the 30 degree angle is. And then I line up this x angle right here. And so this is where x is right here, so x degrees. What they end up making is a straight angle. And so I'm going to go ahead and move this 90 degree symbol here, put it inside for now, since that represents 90 degrees. And I've got this straight angle, and a straight angle represents 180 degrees. And so the rule basically says, for the interior angles, is that if I take the angles, the 30 degree, the 90 degree, and the x degrees, they will add together to make 180, and that's where the formula comes from. So my interior angle theorem says that I'll add the angles, 30, 90, and x, and they will equal 180 degrees. So when I add these two, I get 120, plus x makes 180, and then I'll just subtract the 120 from all sides. And so when I do that, I'm left with 60, and 60 is x. So x equals 60 degrees. They want all the angles, so I'll just list them all. We have 30 degrees, we have 60 degrees, and we have 90 degrees. Those are the different angles we see. So this next problem says that we have x, we've got 48 degrees, we have x minus 44. Those are the three angles, and they'll add together to make 180 degrees. So from this point, I collect some like terms. So I have 1x and 1x make 2x. And when I collect these two terms, 48 and minus 44, that makes a positive 4. So when they're opposite signs, I subtract. And this all equals 180. So from that point, I'll go ahead and subtract the 4 from all sides. And so that leaves me with 2x equals 176. And so from this point, I'll divide by 2, and I'm left with x equals 88. And so once I have that, that gives me this angle right here, and all I have to do is now find out what this other missing angle is. So 88 minus 44 gives me 44 degrees. So I know my angles are 48, 88, and 44 degrees. So this last one looks very similar to the one previous. The difference is that now we have x and an x plus 65. So instead of subtracting a number from x, they are adding. And then the plus 25 equals 180. So all the angles get added up. They equal 180. So when we solve this, we're collecting like terms. So over here I've got 2x. And here I add because they're the same sign. So that makes 90. And this all equals 180. So I'll subtract the 90 from the 180, and that leaves me with 90 equals 2x. So when I divide by 2, I end up getting x equals 45 degrees. So I know that I've got a 45 degree angle, I've got a 25 degree angle, and when I add the 45 and the 65, that ends up giving me 110 degrees. So a 110 degree angle. So 45, 25, and 110. So let's take a look at the other type of problem we have. So that's the interior angle theorem. Let's take a look at the exterior angle theorem. And I've got a bunch of extra stuff in here, so I'll move that aside. So when I look at these problems, I've got, instead of given all the angles, I've got this extra angle on the outside. So let's see how the theorem works. So basically, if I took this angle right here and cut it, and I stuck it right in here, that would fit right there. That would be my 40 degree angle. And then I cut this angle, and I put it right here. It would fit perfectly inside. And so the two angles would fit perfectly in that exterior angle. So these two angles are called the remote interior remote interior angles. And so I see that I have to add those two together, and they will equal the exterior angle. So in this case, my exterior angle is 70 degrees. And that's all I have to do. And I can prove it by finding out what this missing angle was. And see, if you go ahead and take that 70 degrees, and I subtract it from 180, I would end up with 110 degrees. So I know that this angle right here is 110 degrees as long as I'm correct where I added those two angles together and got the exterior angle right. But we could check. You see, now if I add these two numbers, 40 plus 30, that makes 70. And then I take that 70 and take it away from 180, you see, you get right back at 110 degrees. So that's how that ends up working. So it's because a straight angle is 180, and all the angles in a triangle also add to make 180. And that's the reason why the remote interiors will sum to make the exterior angle. So we're going to use that concept when we do this problem. So I'm going to take the 4n minus 20, which is the exterior angle, and I'm going to set it equal to the 2n plus 20 plus the n. So I took the angle here and added to this other angle, which are the two remote interiors, and they equal the exterior. So I'll collect some like terms first. So 3n plus 20 equals, and then I got the 4n minus 20, and then I just do opposite operations. So I'll go ahead and subtract the 3n from all sides. So it leaves me with 1n. So I'm left with n minus 20 equals 20, and then I just add the 20. So add 20 to 20, and that gives me 40. But that's not the answer I'm looking for, because they're going to want the exterior angle. Find the measure of the exterior angle. So we take that 40 and plug it back in to the equation. 4 times 40 minus 20. So when I do 4 times 40, I get 160 minus the 20, and that makes 140 degrees. So that is the solution for that problem, and that's what you're going to be seeing on tonight's homework. Good luck.